Welcome to MindSwitch Books. What if I told you that your biggest failures, those really painful frustrations you've had, what if they aren't entirely your fault? Today, we are cracking open the secrets of human behavior with Robert Greene's absolute masterpiece, The Laws of Human Nature.
What if you could finally understand why people do the things they do? Like why your boss is so insecure, or why that friend of yours is secretly envious, or, and this is a big one, why you keep making the same self-sabotaging mistakes over and over again. Look, these aren't just random events. They're the result of these invisible forces, these primal currents of human nature that, let's be honest, you've never been taught to see, let alone control.
So, for most of your life, you've been playing this huge game, but you never got the rule book. You're just reacting to things without really understanding why. Well, this breakdown right here, this changes all that. We are diving deep into Robert Greene's work to basically give you the user's manual for humanity itself. And by the end of this, you're not just going to be reacting anymore. You'll understand, and you will finally be in control. So here's our path to mastery. First, we're going to look right in the mirror and uncover the parts of ourselves we kind of deny exist. Then, we'll learn to master our own emotions. From there, we'll turn our focus outward to decode the people around us. And finally, we're going to elevate our perspective to see the whole big picture. Believe me, this isn't just a summary. Think of it as a training session to master the game of life.
Okay, let's get into it. The foundation of all power starts right here, radical self-awareness. Greene's first law is, honestly, so simple but so profound. You cannot hope to understand other people until you are brutally honest about the person you see in the mirror.
And this slide right here, wow, it exposes the dangerous delusion we're all living under. On the one hand, you've got our self-image. Oh, I have the best intentions. But the human reality? Greene says we are prone to being totally irrational. We see ourselves as victims, but we're often driven by narcissism. We think we're kind, but we're capable of deep envy. Greene's point is that we're all cut from the same cloth. Pretending we're not is just a fantasy, and it leaves us vulnerable and super easy to manipulate. Getting real about this isn't pessimistic. It's the very first step toward real power.
So Greene has a name for this. He calls it the shadow. Think about it. It's all the parts of ourselves we were taught to hide away as kids, to be good. The aggression, the selfishness. But here's the thing. They didn't just disappear. Nope. They went underground, and now they're pulling our strings from the darkness, making us act in ways we don't even understand. And this is the key. Listen up. You can't spot the shadow in other people until you've had the courage to face your own.
All right, so once you've faced your own nature, the next step is to master it. Because let's be real, our greatest enemy isn't somebody else, it's our own unchecked emotions. They're constantly hijacking our rational mind and totally sabotaging our best-laid plans.
And what's great is that Greene doesn't just point out the problem. He gives us a clear three-step path to getting back in the driver's seat. First, you have to recognize your biases, those mental shortcuts that totally distort reality. Then, you dig deep to find the root of your emotional triggers, like what really sets you off. And finally, you practice and build up your mental muscle to resist their pull, creating that crucial space between an impulse and your action.
Okay, let's just take one of the most powerful biases out there, confirmation bias. Get this, your brain isn't designed to find the objective truth. It's actually designed to find evidence that proves you're already right. It's like a filter that just twists reality to match what you want to believe. And man, is it the root cause of countless bad decisions, from terrible investments to failed relationships.
And this little phrase just illustrates the trap so brilliantly. Think about it. When's the last time you asked for advice and really wanted to be told you were wrong? Right? The more successful or powerful you become, the more people will just tell you what you want to hear. And that makes you even more susceptible to this bias, surrounding you with yes men who just confirm your ideas instead of challenging them. Real rationality means fighting this powerful internal urge every single day.
So is this unlocking your mind a bit? If this is hitting home for you, do me a quick favor and hit that like button and maybe share this with someone who needs to see it. It really helps us bring more of these powerful ideas to you. Okay, now let's turn our attention outward.
All right, so we've done the hard work of looking inward. Now we get to turn that sharpened lens outward. This next part is all about developing a kind of superpower, the ability to see right past the masks people wear and decode what they're really feeling and what they truly want.
See, people can say whatever they want, right? But their bodies don't lie. Greene teaches us to become master observers.
We learn how to spot those tiny involuntary tells, like the sudden squinting of the eyes when they disagree, or how their lips just purse up and disappear in a flash of anger. These are the signals that almost everyone misses, but they tell you everything you need to know about what's really going on.
Now let's talk about how people project power. You've got the obvious alpha style, right? The person who interrupts, has that crushing handshake, takes up all the space. But Greene points to a much quieter and often way more powerful form. Think of someone like former German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Her power came from stillness, from deep listening. She'd make others do all the talking and reveal their cards, while she kept hers completely hidden. Watching for these different styles teaches you that power speaks a lot of different languages.
And this brings us to such a critical insight, something Abraham Lincoln knew well. Power doesn't corrupt people, it reveals them. Greene uses the amazing example of Lyndon B. Johnson. On his way up, he was all polite and deferential, but the second he got real power as Senate Majority Leader, boom, his true, domineering, vengeful character came roaring out. So always watch how people act when they get just a little bit of authority. It is the most reliable character test there is, bar none. And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most powerful law of them all. This is about gaining the ability to pull back from all the emotional drama of the present moment and see the bigger picture, the long-term trends that are truly shaping our lives. You see, this is our default setting as humans. We are literally wired to react to whatever is screaming for our attention right now. The latest news alert, the immediate crisis at work, that shiny new opportunity. We get so caught up in the tactical battle of today that we completely lose sight of the strategic war of our long-term goals. And this slide is the perfect, terrifying illustration of that danger. Back in 1720, an entire nation got absolutely gripped by the South Sea bubble. Just look at these numbers. The stock price didn't just rise, it exploded, from 128 pounds to over 1,000 in just 6 months. This was pure frenzy. Everyone from the king down to the average citizen was blinded by the immediate thrill of easy money, totally ignoring all the warning signs of the inevitable, catastrophic crash that just wiped out fortunes overnight. But by consciously cultivating a far-sighted perspective, you learn to detach from this kind of collective hysteria. You develop the patience to see past the immediate hype and the clarity to see what's really going on underneath. And that is what allows you to avoid the traps that snare everybody else and lets you move steadily toward your most ambitious goals. So what does this all add up to? What does it all mean? Well, understanding these laws, the laws of irrationality, narcissism, short-sightedness, and all the rest, it lets you fundamentally change your position in life. You stop being a confused pawn on the board, just reacting to moves you don't understand, and you start becoming a grand master, seeing the whole game. And believe me, we have truly just scratched the surface here. The full book is an entire arsenal of strategies, like the 5 you see here. It teaches you how to become a deep listener so people feel truly heard, how to allay their deepest insecurities to gain their trust. It even teaches you how to use their own resistance to your advantage. And look, this isn't about manipulation. It's about ethically influencing people by understanding what really drives them, so you can get them to want to align with your goals. Thank you so much for joining us here at MindSwitch Books for this deep dive. As you can probably tell by now, this book is so much more than just a collection of cool ideas. It is a complete blueprint for navigating the social world. If you're ready to move beyond just theory and actually apply these powerful concepts to your career, your relationships, your whole life, then the full book is an absolutely essential read. So to get that complete arsenal of strategies and really continue your journey to mastery, just click the link in the description right now to get your copy of The Laws of Human Nature. Seriously, it's an investment in your social intelligence that will pay you back for the rest of your life. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to MindSwitch Books for more of these deep dive explainers that empower your mind.